Okay, then I came to the most difficult part of the trip, which was this thing that happened where I was essentially I was getting annoyed. The LSD was annoying me. The annoyance was about this sort of fantasy I was having. I was just letting my mind run wild. I wasn't just came started having this fantasy about this this world that was sort of like a Lego kind of world or something. Some kind of European modular mechanical toys that would probably better describe it. I just don't know what the names of them are. But I have good spatial relations, which means I can like imagine things in my mind's eye quite well, which is different than closed eye visuals. Really quite different. Like imagining something in your mind's eye generally uh, you're not seeing it. It's something hard to describe. In LSD, I think that your mind's eye kind of activity can be greatly enhanced, where you're now seeing in your mind's eye like a fantasy world that you've dreamt up. Now I was trapped in this fantasy world. It wasn't like I wanted this world to develop or something. It just arose. Just somehow it arose. And now I'm trapped in it, and the problem was I couldn't touch anything because there was like a plastic barrier between me and everything that I could touch. So I was like, is this the way the world really is? Am I really stuck in this world? So right there, that goes to show you that there was I was somewhat delusional to really be even bothered by this possibility. So I was bothered by it, and it was annoying me. It's just something that was annoying me. But it went away. But I think that is something that can happen on LSD. You can get annoyed by something. I was kind of fighting it, which isn't a big deal. But if I saw that I was losing, I just go into the accept mode, just accept it, just figure that I have to wait until the LSD wore off, and I'd come back to normal. One thing I've heard people complain about LSD is getting in thought loops. So my thinking about that is I don't have thought loops. I don't have a problem with that. I may be getting in thought loops all the time. I just don't mind or something. But I mean, I have noticed, in my life that yeah, your thoughts do sometimes go in a circle. So I mean, I'm thinking about what is a thought loop. So my guess is it's this. Now I remember seeing something on PBS one time where they were talking about mental illness, and they said mental illness comes from two places: it's hereditary or from other people. So that's interesting. Yeah, I guess mental illness is really caused by other people mostly. That's a big part of it. But one thing I guess I should say about myself is that I am a dyslexic. So I really don't have the best memory. As LSD use degraded my memory? I don't really think so. But my mind does wander like crazy. And, you know, a lot of that is psychological. But it does have to do with the LSD use, nevertheless, probably. So, I mean, I have to say that I get the absent-minded professor thing going sometimes. So, I mean, I just totally lost my train of thought. I don't know why I was talking about mental illness. Just totally lost my train of thought. But when it comes to thought loops, my guess is that what it is a difficult person. I guess that's why I got on that mental illness thing. I'm talking about a difficult person, probably. It's what the person's thinking about while they're on LSD. So they're coming around with a solution, how to deal with this person. Okay, maybe I'll try this, maybe that. Okay, I'll try this. So then they imagine, okay, what's going to happen when I present this to the person? Maybe like if I stand up to them, how's it going to go? No, it's not going to go well. They're not going to go for that. So then you start thinking again about solving the problem. And you're thinking. And you come up with a new solution, and then you try it out. You model it against the person. How's it going to go? No, it's not going to go. It's because you're dealing with an impossible person, probably. So you get in this thought loop trying to solve that problem. Now, I myself, I'd probably enjoy these kinds of thinking of how to outsmart somebody. You know, even if I wasn't really making any headway, I'd still keep trying, probably. But some people get bothered by that, thought loops. I've never been bothered by that. You do have to accept everything that comes along, though. The more something bothers you on LSD, then you have to really start thinking about seriously accepting it and being patient, getting into the patient mode of waiting for the LSD to wear off, because then you'll come back to normal, probably. And it can be difficult to remember that, so you have to make sure that you understand that going in. It's the cardinal rule of taking psychedelic drugs, is that if you don't like how the trip is going, then you have to tell yourself immediately that you're going to wait until it wears off. Very important. So yeah, having a difficult experience, and you can really think that, oh, this is horrible. My whole life's been ruined. I can't function normally ever again. You could start thinking like that. It's just perfectly normal, really, if it's not going well for you. But you're mistaken. Once the stuff wears off, you're basically going to come back. You're going to be the same person. Now, I've heard it said that if you take LSD, you become a different person. So I guess it's safe. That's what you have to assume is going to happen, because it is a big step if that is true. But I myself, from taking psychedelics, I don't think that they changed me. All they really did was they gave me relief. And I was like, I took them and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much right about everything. So, I mean, what am I so bummed out about? Everything. So it's just, made me happy. Didn't feel I was a different person. So, some people, think that you take LSD, you become a different person. It really has a lot to do with how much self-honesty you have. And so I like to think I always had a lot of self-honesty. I mean, probably by the time I was getting to be about 18, I was seeing how important that was. But then again, when you're talking about self-honesty, it's something that, it's a tricky tricky area because I may not have much self-honesty at all and not even be aware of it. So it is a tricky area, but I think a lot of it has to do with how much self-honesty you have. And that's what's going to determine whether or not LSD will change you. But I don't really see it changing people for the worse, generally. I don't think it generally does that.